What's going on, ladies and gents? Kage's here and welcome back to another video. Today, we're diving into Digimon Beatbreak episode 37 titled Gentle Magic. Episode 37 finally brings us the gift arc to a close, and I honestly have a lot to say about it. Some moments actually landed for me. Very emotional episodes Beatbreak has come up so far, while a few others left me scratching my head. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right on into it. The episode began with Miharu being taken away by Pristimon. Meanwhile, Tomoro and the others follow Rose and eventually discover Gift's hideout. I'ma be honest, I kinda appreciate what they do with Rose here, secretly having Lizamon planted the flower thing on Miharu, allowing this discovery to happen. Very meticulous, shows us that they're a Gogyosei for a reason. This is also where everyone evolves into their perfect forms, and I think this was actually our first shortened evolution sequence, and now that we got them all perfectly lined up together for the first time, not gonna lie, this was pretty fire. Now, bottom line to all this is Miharu wants Chairman Wang to reveal the existence of Digimon to the entire world. Rose is trying to get close to Chairman Wang so she can rescue him. Tomoro and the others are trying to reach out to Miharu to save her, and in order to do that, they first have to defeat Pristimon. Then the countdown finally reaches 0. The worldwide broadcast begins, but it gets cut off as it immediately gets interrupted by Lizamon's attack. I'm not gonna lie, if I were watching that live stream, I'd be annoyed. Imagine waiting throughout that whole countdown just to see Chairman Wang shows up, and for 1 second, that is crazy. I actually do love Hitomi-chan shows up here, like she doesn't give a damn to all this, eating her chips, chilling in her room. But at the same time, I do think that was enough for people around the world to realize that Chairman Wang and the World Union were clearly trying to announce something huge. So I guess in that sense, the broadcast still accomplished something. So using the gifted virus that Miharu created, they launch a cyber attack against Shangri-La Egg. Chairman Wang was so confident, saying that the Shangri-La Egg security is perfect, that no cyber attack could ever break through it. Then got hijacked. Then even after losing control of the system, still saying that it can even survive a direct missiles and it won't do shit. And almost immediately after saying that, Miharu says that she doesn't even need missiles. She simply shuts down the oxygen supply system and succeeded in getting everyone inside the Shangri-La Egg to be her hostage, slowly lowering the oxygen levels inside and suffocating everyone trapped there. I think the point of this scene was to show just how overwhelming Miharu and Pristimon's combined abilities had become, because Pristimon sort of enhanced the gifted virus to continuously mutate and overcome any protection. I mean, breaking through Shangri-La Egg's supposedly flawless defense, not gonna lie, pretty cool. So me naturally, right? I've been building him up, Chairman Wang, in my head as this terrifying final boss type character, but after watching this, I don't know, it kind of felt like he lost the aura, right? A lot of that intimidating aura. Not disappointed because we still don't know everything, but I just don't know how I feel about him. Now, something that did catch my attention though is when Tomoro's E-Pulse shines on Pristimon, and inside of him we see this mysterious cube-like object, and the moment it starts glowing, Chairman Wang immediately reacts with, could that really be? And that reaction, the exaggerated shade that they gave him, like a full-on Sakuga almost, tells me that it's something extremely important to the plot, like a Pandora's box. And then we get this son of a bitch. Seems like he also knows what it is from how he looks at Chairman Wang. Not gonna lie, at that moment I'm just like, I freaking knew it. It's you. And so I have a feeling Chairman Wang is going to become a really important character still moving forward. Between the mystery of Tomo's E-Pulse and whatever that cube inside Mephismon actually is, I wouldn't be surprised if Chairman Wang ends up being the one to be the final boss. Cause I assume from what we all know, he kind of shows the vibe who would be sort of like creating a god or whatever that monster from the flashback is, right? Then fights happen. I really love that Lizamon shows just how scary she and Rose is. Nearly killed Mephismon with the poison there, moves in quick the moment Rose says, "Playtime's over, baby!" and inject the poison and it spread almost instantly. Love the sinister smile too, dude. And Rose immediately threatens Miharu to release the hostages if she wants the antidote. Very professional. But I guess not ending Mephismon there was a bad move, as Mephismon immediately summons a tornado and cuts Lizamon apart and also cured himself. So instead of relying on brute force, Tomoro tries to reach Miharu with words. Miharu says, "I'll fulfill my sister's wish, I'll bring back her smile," and Monarch Lizamon asks her, "Even if you do all of this, will your sister's smile really come back?" And Tomoro adds to this talk no jutsu, "Is this really what your sister wanted?" And upon realization, here, Mephismon answers the question. "This was never Chifuyu's wish. I have only been granting your wish, Miharu's wish." I honestly really like this reveal because it means Miharu had been manipulated this entire time. She genuinely believed she was carrying out Chifuyu's wish when in reality, everything Mephismon had been granting was Miharu's own wish. And of course, by telling her it was her sister's wish. The moment that truth comes out, using his cloud energy thingy, Mephismon completely absorbs Miharu into his body. He shouts loud, right, like a goat, and powers up. Now here's the thing, the second that happened, I seriously thought we were about to get a mega evolution. They even played that familiar dark Sapotama frequency activation and sound effects, that big dramatic boom sound. So in my head, I was already going, ooh, mega baby. It is finally happening. Oh no. Okay, which one is it? We see the energy went through the blue box thing that they were in all the way up, and things really went crazy there. I got my hopes up, but then what we really got from all that buildup is dude got bigger. Dude got bigger. Yup. That's it. Wow, dude, I can't believe it. So cool. He becomes a giant, grows a wings and all that. Even Makoto's like, "It's Mephismon but bigger." Yo, Makoto, shut your ass, bro. Like, what like, what do you mean though? Not gonna lie, that was ass, bro. Which is wild. I know. Why would you do that? Why would anybody do that? Personally, I would have loved to see Mephismon evolve into a mega. Like Golfmon was huge, right? In Tamers, y'all remember that? You can make him like an incomplete berserk Golfmon at the very least. Like, making expectations above reality is one thing you don't want to do, bro. But here's the thing. Somehow at the back of my head, I knew that she wasn't gonna evolve. This might sound like me defending them, but it's not. It's just that feels sort of obvious to me, right? And here's why. So from what I see, Beatbreak is very different in a sense compared to the previous seasons, right? Where there is no digital world here, right? And from what we all know, Digimon kind of like spawn, you know, in the span of 20 years thing since the Kano Island incident. And so no one has ever witnessed a mega level before. probably Wong and Tenma Hakase, the granddad of Tomoro, seeing that giant Digimon probably is a mega, is as big as a mountain. And also Kyo seems to have witnessed a mega level before, because when Proganamon evolved into Pyramidimon, he's like, yeah, that's a mega level. And seems like even the Gogyosei, the strongest cleaners in the world, aren't capable of reaching mega. Well, Kyo can't, Rose certainly can't, Kaido probably can't do it, and Clay? Cold-hearted hundreds to charge his to get to Mega, but even then, it's still incomplete. Basically what I'm trying to say, Mega levels in Beatbreak is viewed almost like a sort of like a higher power, an ultimate being. So maybe there's a special condition to access it? I don't know. And I don't think they want Miharu to be the first one to do it. And, you know, topping the Gogyosei members. And who knows what kind of grand plan they got up their sleeves. And everything connected to the mega levels in the future arc. Maybe there's certain requirements or an upgrade to the Sapotama in order to do that. The current one might got a limit to it. So it's not just emotions that is required in order to achieve this mega level. Maybe that is why Clay's Pyramidimon was imperfect, not because he needed more E-Pulse, but he did not have the true condition needed to get to that. I still feel like people are still gonna view this as a wasted potential though, again because of the expectations, right? Having the Glowing Dawn fight against Mega in the second arc and not in the third arc. Because becoming an incomplete Gulfmon and have everyone work together to bring it down, I think that would have been such a cool climax. So yeah, Miharu is trapped inside the giant Mephismon. Seeing how Tomoro and Monarch Lizamon believes in Miharu and wants to reach out to her, and Kyo sorta like affirmed to that, and the whole team kinda agrees to help Miharu. And right as that line lands, the background music starts kicking in, and man, that was hype. Even though I complained about Mephismon not getting a mega, I still thought this whole sequence was fantastic. We got Scorched Kurtmon's Despair Blast, Murderized Punch by Bearcatmon, also Tsuino Zankoku by my man Mura Samemon. He looks handsome in action, man. Then, just as Mephismon is about to unleash his finishing attack, a cable of data suddenly extends from Chifuyu Sapotama that Miharu has been carrying, and it completely restrains Mephismon. And Monarch Lizamon immediately follows up with his finishing attack, Annihilate Edge, but took a sort of different form this time, more pointy, charging in, which is cool, breaks inside Mephismon's body and reaches Miharu. Then, that cable transforms into Chifuyu herself. She embraces Miharu and says, "Freedom for Digimon, happiness for humanity, and a future where everyone can live hand by hand." Wouldn't it be wonderful if the world could be rewritten like that? And I think this is where everything finally clicks, because after Chifuyu's death, and because Miharu became consumed by hatred toward the world, she only remembered this part: freedom for Digimon, happiness for humanity. But she forgot the most important part: a future where everyone can live hand by hand. That single line changes everything. Miharu realizes her mistake, she accepted it, she apologized to Mephismon, Chifuyu, and everyone else. And just like that, the whole conflict finally comes to an end. And of course, Monarch Lizamon uses final judgment and defeat Mephismon from the inside, which I'ma be honest, really cool. Another moment that really got me was when Tomoro tells Miharu it was because of hatred. I know, because I was the same. And that line hit pretty hard, because he's not judging her, he's speaking from experience. And honestly, season 1 Tomoro was in a really dark place too. And that's the same goes for Chifuyu, where she never yelled at Miharu, never showered her with sympathy, and never tried to forcefully comfort her. But instead, it felt more like she was saying, "This is what I actually meant. She simply showed Miharu the truth one more time because she trusted her. She believed that once Miharu understood, she'd be okay. At first, I actually thought the scene felt surprisingly simple, maybe even a little understated. But once I started thinking about why the characters acted the way they did, it suddenly became so much powerful. So personally, I choose to interpret that simplicity as trust. Chifuyu trusted Miharu enough to believe that simply helping her realize the truth would be more than enough. That from this point onward, she'd be okay. And honestly, when I look at it that way, that kind of make me emotional a little bit, right? Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. And finally, after everything is over, Tomura invites Miharu to join the family. But Miharu refuses, saying that she went too far, saying how she will be looking forward to the new world that Glowing Dawn will create, and made a promise together. So she willingly turns herself into the ministry, and honestly, I really respect that decision from the writers. Miharu committed numerous acts of terrorism. Well, those actions have consequences, so instead of pretending everything was magically forgiven, the story actually acknowledged that she'll have to face punishment. Personally, I thought that was a really good way to end her character arc, and I doubt that people gonna complain that part of the story. And despite everything, I do appreciate the visual fidelity to the animation, how well the emotions and expression of the characters are depicted in the season of Beatbreak, especially Miharu in this arc and episode. Very cool. We get to really feel her emotions, the sadness, regrets, the reassurance and relief at the end there too, leaving everything to Glowing Dawn. I love it, right? And finally, next week's episode, Hollow Thirst. For what's supposed to be Kyo's birthday episode, that title is surprisingly unsettling. We also get to see the water Digimon, one of the Death Stars. I don't know if it's Kashiwara Kanji or his Digimon, since I don't know, he disappeared. And I'm really looking forward to it. And alrighty, that's for today's episode. So guys, what are your thoughts on this episode? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. Thanks for watching, and as always, this is Kage signing off. Stay sharp, and I'll catch you on to the next one. Peace.